As you move down through that plan, you'll start implementing, or you'll confirm you've implemented tools to help with your cybersecurity. How do you pick the right tools? Is there one cybersecurity tool that does it all? Well, the answers are no, and let's organize our thoughts. So fortunately, remember how I said cybersecurity groups share what works well? Now, this is the foundation of NIST's cybersecurity framework. Identify what you have, protect it proactively, detect anomalies or unusual patterns, respond and investigate to those anomalies, and then recover, repair, and resume operations. The NIST cybersecurity framework is fairly academic. It goes quite a bit deeper than this, but we're going to run with these 5 tenets. Identify and protect are about emphasizing safety and prevention. They're structural awareness of your IT environment. What's it look like when it's healthy? They're the things you've prepared and put in place to prevent successful attacks where you can, and have as many reasonable early detection opportunities as you can for the attacks that you care about. Detect, respond, recover only happen once a threat has already started. The threat actor is now interacting with your environment, or there are indicators. This is situational awareness. This is the security side of the equation complementing the safety side of the equation. We want to detect the unusual behavior in a meaningful way, recognize that it's unusual enough to merit investigation, respond and investigate, stop the damage, and recover from damage that did occur. It's the same conversation about managing risk through business choices. Each security tool, people training, or business processes that you put in place might address one or more of these elements across one or more types of devices or assets. This particular matrix is called the Cyber Defense Matrix. It was crafted by Sunil Yu. You can read about his work as an enterprise CISO on his site at the URL at the bottom there. It has one more piece, though, as a reminder of where to focus to build resiliency. Technology tools help most with the items on the left, the safety aspects. People help most, well-trained people help most with the items on the right. Those are the resiliency aspects, the solid processes and the training and the readiness to underscoring it all. Great, so now how does each particular tool help? Well, I've already mentioned that there's no one magic tool that we can just launch and install and say, congratulations, we're secure. So we have to think about each tool as it's going to protect against certain things, but it's going to let other things through. So fun analogy, we'll use the Swiss cheese analogy. I've got one piece of Swiss cheese that's got holes in it, and therefore there's lots of ways through it. But if I start to layer pieces of Swiss cheese on top of each other, the holes don't align, or at least don't align consistently all the way down through. So what one tool doesn't stop, the next one has an opportunity to stop. The next one has an opportunity to stop or detect. The next one. And I build a stack that's appropriate to my level of business risk and the assets that I've got and the business posture that I want to operate within. So say I put a single tool on the grid, like managed detection and response. We'll call that the yellow line across the top. That helps protect my endpoint devices, but it also gives me some information about the population and health of those devices. It has the ability to detect unusual events on those devices, and many tools even have some response and recovery capabilities built in. So it might even have elements that span all 5 of the first row to some degree. We can now make informed choices and see a map about how what we're doing helps with our security posture against particular risks. And yes, I've simplified this for sake of a visual example. In your organization, this might be a spreadsheet that shows the approaches you've deployed, or you might have a trusted IT advisor that's helping you manage this sort of thing. There might be some details in each cell, like a responsible person or a product name or regular training and awareness curriculum. It's a business level conversation. The layered security approach typically starts with technology tools, but it's just as reliant on educated and well-prepared people that have a trained response and things in their toolbox to respond in a recovery event or a detection event, all those things, as well as effective business choices and processes and controls. And it's tempting, but the goal is not to play blackout and try to get something in every square on every grid. Some of those squares remain the domain of enterprise level tools and enterprise level costs. It's not as approachable to everyday small business. So you want to make the right informed choices for your own business. It might be very effective, for example, to mandate 300 days of cybersecurity training for everyone in your organization each year. From a security perspective, hey, good job, but it's probably not that fun, it's not feasible, and it's not economically viable. It might be very effective to have a loss prevention expert inspecting every email sent from your system to any outside party, but there are a few risks severe enough to require that type of intrusive and costly mitigation. So would you be secure? Well, sure, for some things, but some squares, again, just fall outside the purview of what most small businesses need to protect. Specifically, the data areas, as you move over towards the right, data loss prevention and so forth, those are available for small business, especially for the identify and protect, but they get much more difficult as you move further to the right. And those tighter controls usually run against the grain of what small businesses are comfortable operating within. So let me give you a quick shopping list. I hope this is a quick shopping list. Here's one of the slides you might want to grab a screenshot of. So this is my short list of technology tools that I think every company, big and small, should have in place today for fundamental cybersecurity. Again, we're talking about the tools, we're talking about the things over on the left-hand side. If you didn't screenshot any slides before this one, you're welcome to grab this one now, and it's slide 44, and you'll have it in access in the recording next week here too. Do you need everything on this list? Maybe. That's a business choice that you have to make relative to your environment, your business, and what's a risk for you. But I know that every one of these now has a small business friendly option that it just makes sense towards today's threats and preventing today's threat actors.